Hey guys, today we're going to paint something I've never tried before. Now, I had somebody purchase some of my lures on eBay. When he got them, he contacted back and said he'd really like a couple of the Spro Little John body style. He wanted one in the bluegill and one in the crappie. Now the bluegill, no big deal, we've been painting that quite a while, but I'd never painted one in the crappie pattern before, so sat down, thought about it a little bit, and decided for today, that's what we're going to do, the Spro Little John in the crappie pattern. Stick with me. Alright, as I said, we're going to do the Spro's Little John body style. We're going to do this in a crappie pattern, which I have never done before. So we will start out just painting it flat white. We want to get a good coat all over it. I don't know how that will affect it later on. Alright, there we go. Got our basic. Now we were using the Createx opaque white for that as always, but I better say something. Got that on. Let's clean things up and we'll go on to the next step. For our next step, we're going to go with your Createx pearlized white. So we're going to use pearlized white, and even though I'm basically just working for the belly here, I'm going to spray the whole thing. I want that pearlized color everywhere. So we'll put a good coat of that pearlized on. Alright, there we have it. The whole thing is covered with pearlized now. We'll wash out the then we'll go from there. We have everything now on the pearlized white, covering everything. I want to add a little bit along the side here, but of course in a crappie, it's basically a white fish, so we don't want to get too different on the colors, but we're going to change it a little. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back with that pearlized white. We're going to throw some of that in here. And then we're going to take some transparent yellow. This is Createx transparent bright yellow. And we are going to take the tiniest, and I mean the tiniest amount. Let me get a little of the stuff off the edge. There we go. Take the gunk off. Shake that again. Alright. And I don't even know if I want to drop. See if I can get that in there, just that little. Boy, that is the tiniest little bit, and that may be too much. We're going to stir that around. Now I'm going to end up with way more paint than I'm ever going to need here. So I guess if you want to duplicate this, maybe you want to do 3 or 4. Alright, let's see what we got. To me, that's almost a little too yellow. Even that littlest, tiniest drop. So we're going to throw some more in here. This would be a good time to paint 3 or 4 of these at a time. Big squirt. And as you can see, I don't measure. Alright, let's see what we got. There we go. We have mostly pearlized white, the tiniest little drop transparent yellow. And yet that was still almost too much. Alright. Now eventually we're going to do something a little different on the top, but we're just going to go down. I want to leave the white belly. So we're going to come across the top with it. Now I don't care if I paint the top because I'm going to end up doing something there again later anyway. Make sure I'm getting paint out here. It's hard to see. see what we have. Now, whether that's going to show up for you folks on camera or not, I don't know. But I got a nice white belly and just the palest of pale chartreuse there on the side. That's what I'm looking for. Barely can discern it, but like I said, on the camera you might not be able to see it as well. I'm not sure. But for me, I got a nice white belly and I got the light chartreuse. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the heat gun now. We're going to heat set that. I want to get that good and heat set before we move on to the next step. So let me do that. Here we go. Got it set in. Got it really dried good. Got the nice white belly. Just the tiniest bit of chartreuse there to add a little color to the side. Now, if this is going to be a crappie, it needs colorization on the side. A lot of little tiny dots, and I've told you before, I hate painting little dots all over. I like them to be random, and I always feel when I paint them, I can't ever get them to come out random. So, here's what we're going to try. Taking a piece of masking tape, painter's tape that I use. Let's get that down where you can see it, I guess. A piece of painter's tape I use, and I've cut them into strips. This is the same kind of strips I use when I'm making my bluegill pattern. So, we're going to take these. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put these over the top of this lure. It's going to hold them down like this. I think I got 4 of them here. And we'll just put these down the sides. You don't have to push them down real hard. And if you have your paint good and dry, they won't pull up any paint when they come up. Just don't push them real hard. Just get them down. That's all you really need to do. All right. We've got them. There we go. Now, let me get everything ready. We'll move on to the next step and see how this works. All right, we got that set. And yeah, we dug out the magic toothbrush. So let's get some Createx Opaque Black. Let's throw a little bit of that here on this plate. Fair warning, I've never done this before. So we're all about to find out at the same time if it works. Get a little paint on here. Now I don't want really big spots on this. So we're going to make sure we get a lot of that off. There we go. Let's try that a little bit more. And a bit more yet. There, I like that. That looking good. All right, let's turn that thing over. If I got him up a little bit, I don't want to get too much on the belly if I can help it. But I am splattering, so who knows where it's going. Those a little bit bigger ones there, wasn't it? All right, we're going to let that go. We're going to stop right there. What we're going to do now is we're going to hit that with the heat gun. I'm going to dry that just a little before I remove that tape. All right, let's pull off the tape and see what we have. All right, we got some stripes. We got the stripes we're looking for there. But we got one more step we need to make yet. Let's hang on a second. I've loaded the airbrush up with a little pearlized black. It's Createx Pearl Black. We're going to run that right down the top. Don't want to get too carried away. We're not going down the sides with it. We want to just put it on the top. We're going to go a little around the eyes up here. That kind of helps make those eyes show up good. And there we have it. Okay, we're going to stop right there. We're going to get some eyes. We're going to put a top coat in. We might have ourselves a crappie here. We'll see. There we go, guys. There's the crappie. Now I want to point out something to you, and then I'm going to ask you to help me out, so stick around. You have the stripes we showed in there. Between the time I finished, before I put the eyes in and everything, I decided the stripes needed a few dots near the top. So here's how I did that. I took some of the Createx black opaque paint. I used a toothpick. And I just touched the toothpick, put about 3 or 4 dots at the top of each stripe, so you can see the stripe still shows up a little near the bottom. Now, I painted 2 crappie lures. So here they are. There's A and then there's B. So I'm going to ask you guys, which one do you like best? A or B? Leave your answer down in the comments if you would. When we get all done, we'll see which one everybody thinks is the best. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to our channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.